Hey guys, just getting to this one kind of late tonight. Busy day, had some work to do later in the afternoon. And this morning we didn't get any videos out. We were actually taking our guide exams to reinstate some of our guide licensing. So we took all of them, fishing, hunting, camping, hiking, small crafts, small watercrafts. So just making sure we're up to date on all that stuff and getting our paperwork in. And, it's not a full time thing for us, but maybe in the future it will be when we'll, live the guide life dream world thing. But until then, keep all of our stuff up to date and give us a call. We'll go out on the weekends and do some camping, fishing, maybe some hunting in the fall. Do hunting and some small game hunting. Do whatever you want to do. So I would try to get certified and all that stuff. So in the vise, we had this big hopper. This is what we're tying up today. It is an extended body foam hopper. It's got rubber legs. It's got a big wing, a little bit of flash in there. And then it's got this real buggy front end here that I like to load with float, and this thing just floats forever. So we're going to tie one of these guys up. For a hook, got this curved shank terrestrial style hook. Let's see what size that is. It's going to be in a size 10. So Daiichi 1270. There's the stats. I'm going to tie up some stimmies too. It's a good hook for that as well. So this foam I got from the craft store is humongous. And you could just stick that right out the back if you wanted to. And you could just have that be, the extended body. And it would be fine, I think. I don't think there's any quabbles with that. I don't think the fish would care. But this stuff is unbelievably rigid. Super rigid. So what we're going to do is I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to relocate some of the junk on the desk. And I'm going to try to show you guys how I tie this by hand. So I get the tag. I'm left-handed, so I'm sure the majority of you. Let me get this light situated over us too. And it's so rigid I can actually, oh my gosh, my fingers are so dry from being out in the snow, tearing up the thread. So I get one full wrap, good tight one. Keep doing that. Get out a little bit more. And you can see it's really on there, super good. Now I'm gonna cut this tag short. I'm gonna jump right here. I'm gonna collect just a little bit bigger of a clump. Now I'm gonna switch hands. I'm gonna make that jump a little bit bigger. Squeeze 1, 2, 3, and I'm pulling really hard, and it doesn't move this foam. Stuff is amazing. We're finding it at the craft store. Jump another one, a little bit bigger. Get a nice first tight one, second tight one, third tight one. And now I've got 4 segments that I just did in my hand. And I didn't have to come up with special tooling, buy something that costs $50 specialty or something like that. It's literally there's your tail. There's a couple jump wraps. You could do it in a matching thread color. I don't care. So we're going to do that. <clears throat> <laughs> <coughs> 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 Now, you can see that like trying to, let's zoom into 2x so you can get a better view of this. Like trying to lash that down onto that hook would be nuts because of how thick this is. But because of how thick this is, I can come right in here and slice this basically all the way back perfectly because of how rigid this foam is. All right, so now we are going to zoom out again, get this back out of the way, grab the hook. I'm going to go inside of where I just split that as far to the back as I can push it and come down. I don't know if you can see it very well. Down and out. I just stabbed myself. Nice. All right. Bring the vise over. Put that guy in there. And now we are already on the hook shank. No extra tools. We split that. We've got it secured, the hook secured through that bottom chunk of foam. Now, the thread's going the wrong way because I'm left-handed and I had it all turned around the way I was doing it. So I'm just going to jump underneath once, and back over. I think I just did that the wrong way. You gotta jump underneath, back under, not over. All right, now I can kind of position this whole thing where I want it. We're actually not going to use all of this foam. We're going to use some new foam, but we're going to come inside. We're going to jump, get some wraps. Guess we'll start with the bottom here. Everything's still kind of moving on the hook shank. All right, we got that. We're going to put down some pretty good thread right there. All right. Bring that in so you can see it a little better. So now we're on the hook shank with our extended body. It still spins a little bit, but I mean, if you put like some Zappa Gap like underneath all this stuff, it wouldn't move quite so much. But I honestly, I'm not going to be doing all of that. So we're going to get rid of all this stuff here. This is going to be a ramp that we start tying down. I'm going to zoom out and zoom in. I could probably use some thicker thread for this, but it'll do just fine. That's on there really good. Now we're going to grab some brown barred rubber legs. And again, we're gonna zoom out so I can kind of show you what I'm doing here. So we're gonna make an overhand knot like that. Then we're gonna make another one like we're just double knotting that overhand knot. Now you just gotta pull all the tags tight. Get those knots cinched up. Like that. Now this section right here that's a loop, I like to do is just cut the end of it. Kind of see how it's going to orient. We're going to cut this tag off right here. And that's going to be our rear leg. We're going to cut some of this off too, but for the time being, that's what we're going to tie in here. But just for a second, we're going to do the other side. If I can find what I did with all of them. Here's some over here. I think I used up a whole thing of them testing it out, but I got some more right here. I made a few before filming just to make sure it wasn't going to be too much. I'm going to do this one off camera a little bit quicker. Well, maybe not quicker. I get to the end of the loop and then it all falls apart. It's so frustrating. All right, we got those done. And actually, before we put those in, I almost forgot a step here. We're going to throw in a little flash right now. We're going to pull 4 or 5 of these fibers, some crystal flash. Mess though. A little tangled up. That's like 5 fibers doubled over. There we go. The rest of that. I'd say there's probably like 15 fibers right there. Just right on the top. And we're going to cover that with an elk hair wing, some bleached elk hair. I don't do like a terribly thick wing, but definitely has a little bit of meat to it. This isn't really the floaty part, I guess. I mean, it does help, but really this huge thick foam we got on there floats forever. And then dousing the front of it in silicone floating as well. Got a pretty good wing. We're gonna get our stacker out. Let's see if we can find the sleeve to that. I feel like I dropped it on the last one, but I don't know where it bounced to. Oh, yep, it's way under. My wife spotted it from a million miles away. I can't see something that's an inch in front of me. The husband trait. A little helper. All right. Got those tips all lined up nice. Pull that out. Just going to go through it one more time. Get any extra loose stuff. I'm going to go just short of the length of that fly. I'm going to pinch all this material right on top. One loose wrap, two loose wraps, and I'm pulling straight up. Looks pretty good. I'll come underneath. Got that at a shallow angle, kind of like we were making a caddis. Oh, this junk out of the way. All right, that looks good. Finding all the ends there. Cool. Zoom in for you guys. All right, had to check if my mic was still on. Looking good. Next step here is going to be getting a thin piece of foam. Also the craft store variety. A little too thin. A little haphazard. All right, let's see what this is here. Foam sheet. I don't know. 2 millimeter? What do you think? The thinner foam. So I'm going to cut a little V in the front of this. It's going to be my tie-in point. I'm going to put this right on top here. Over here, make this ramp a little bit better. Loose one, and a bunch of tight ones. Move our way back. Capturing all that in there. Good. Before we get too far, we got to get these legs in. I'm a little bit off script here. All right, so we made these legs. The way they're going to sit in here, we're just going to capture them in right on the side. Get them approximately where I want them. Do loose wraps. Oh no, that one fell apart on us. Take two. All right, we'll try these ones. I'm going to situate it at the back, just the length of it. Angle it's sitting in there. Looks pretty good. We'll cut out these ends. You'll have to give me a second to make up another one, guys. We pulled the other one apart. I think some guys put like some super glue on that knot. I've never had it fall apart like that. Of course, it happens while I'm filming it, but away she goes. All right, that one looks good. Leave a little tag on it just in case. I'll flip this over so we can see what's happening over here. All right, that looks pretty good. Cut off this extra. Make sure everything gets locked in really good. All right, so now we're actually onto the step that I keep rushing to, and it's getting this dubbing on. It says hairline number 4 hare's ear. Oh, I'm not sure what number 4 means. I think that's just, it's a little bit finer cut. There's a lot of guard hairs in here, which is nice. Seems like it's like more guard hairs than some of the other ones. First couple wraps are going to be back here to fill in all this empty stuff. All right, that looks good. Now we're going to come up front of all that with a little bit more. It's still looking good on camera. Yeah, we're still in there. It's going to be a long one. Goodness. Good wraps in there. Now we're going to mush this over like this. Push it in there. 1, 2. Good tight pull. A couple more. That's all looking good and straight. One more dubbing. Getting a little close to the eye on this. We can actually mush it all back and give ourselves a little bit more room. Kind of the nice part about not gluing it to the hook is I can kind of still move it around on the hook. Doesn't seem to affect it too much. All right, so we've got some dubbing right in there. I'm going to go back to our rubber legs. So we just need one more piece total here. Going to be our front set of legs. 1, 2, 3. Cut that. Flip it over, come over to the other side. 1, 2, 3. We need some more dubbing again. I think what we're going to do first is we're going to mush all this back and lock it in the front here. I'm going to get it all. I want to get all that. Now we're just going to finish off the head here. I'm going to back that off and get some more dubbing. I think it wants some more. Ooh, Sorry, I just knocked into the camera. Keep adding dubbing. 30 minutes in, we're still adding dubbing. Be a cool fly though, and I'm gonna fish it actually, which is equally as good. Caught all the legs on that wrap. We're doing it again. All right, and that's it. That is the biggest, goofiest hopper you've ever seen. We're gonna throw a whip finish on it. Finish that in there really, really good. All right. There you go. Super floaty little grasshopper right there. Super buggy. Like I said, you can load up this whole dubbing section right here with some float, and that's going to float super good. Great summer pattern when these guys are just falling in the river left and right. And trout are going to key on that. I had a really good summer last summer, all the way into fall, where hoppers just kept coming out like this every day, all the way into like mid-October. And this pattern did really good. So if you've got the patience for it, give it a shot and catch some trout, some bass, panfish, whatever, because they're all going to eat this guy. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, and leave some comments down below with some flies you want us to see tie up in the future. Thanks.